Welcome to DWBIADDA channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
Hi, welcome to DWBIADDA tutorials. In last two tutorials, we have discussed about how to set up environment for an Angular project. And also we have learned the file structure and folder structure of an Angular project. Today we are going to learn about the routing, how to set up routing in an Angular project, and what are the classifications of component. For example, component definition, its template syntax, what are regular variables and event bindings. So let's start. First we will just open up our editor. So this is the project we have generated. So this is the project. So this is the HTML of app.component.html. So to make this project work in browser, as you already know, that we need to browse to where the project is. We need to git dash here, and then we need to type a command ngserve. So now the project has been compiled. It has gave us the URL localhost port 4200. So we'll just open up the browser and we'll type localhost colon 4200, and that will render the project here. But what is the first HTML you will get inside the browser? So this HTML comes from app.component.html. That file is located in app folder in src folder of the project. Whatever the HTML written here, that will render onto the home page. As you can see, that project is in dev running state. So whatever the changes you will do in HTML file, that will automatically get reflected into the browser. Say for example, I change here great, thanks, and save the file. That will get automatically reflected into this browser. So the project is compiling. You see, after compilation, the changes made into the HTML page over here. But what our point was, that we have generated two components, home and about, in last two tutorials. So what do we do now? We will set up routing in the Angular project, and the Angular project will route to this home component rather than this app.component.html file. And when we write about in the URL bar, it will change its route to about component. So let's start. So routing happens in app.module.ts. So as you can see, we've already installed the module router, Angular router 7.2.0, which comes default with the Angular, and you start an Angular project. So over here we need to import this module, something like this: import router module and routes from Angular/router, and then we need to define routes. To define routes, we need to declare them in a constant. Here we have declared a constant froutes with the definition of routes, and it's an array. This array contains the JSON elements. So path is the URL name. So whatever we'll type after the root URL slash ABC anything home about, that is path. So as you have seen, to speed up the process, I have already written home and about in path, and this path will automatically call home component, and the page title will be home. You can write anything here and here, and also you can type anything here. It is not related anywhere to the about component, but make sure that these app component, this home component and about component should be declared in the declare array as we have discussed in last tutorial. In next part, we will import the roots in the router module. We type in a comma here, and underneath this we will import roots as router module for root app root. So app root is the constant which we have already declared. After doing all this, we have got two roots, home and about. But when there is an home root, like there is nothing written into the URL that which root it's going to point to, it will come to the home component by default. So this is our default root. After saving this, we need to define one more thing. In the app.component.html, we need to write router outlet. This router outlet will tell Angular that the routes has been defined and follow them. If you don't write it here, router outlet, the project won't get routing. So basically, whenever a project starts, the default control comes to this file app.component.html, and if the router outlet has been declared and the route has been defined in the module.ts, it will go to the default route. So what should happen now is that when this project start, the home component HTML should be displayed. Let's see what is written into the home component.html. It is written home works. So let's see it. So you can see here that HTML is getting reflected here. So if I write about here and hit enter, the HTML of about component is getting rendered here. Let's see what's written to the about component HTML. So you see about works. So now the routing has been configured. So as many components you generate, you can define JSON entries into this array, and you can call them from any link or any button. They will get rendered into the browser.